And welcome again to the big match, where today we continue with our Golden Goals competition and we bring you action from 3 of yesterday's league games. For our main match, that vital third division game, Gillingham against Fulham.
Oh, checking his man very nicely, flicked it back for Hallam, and now for Conway. Will he put it in? No!
And Nottingham Forest against West Ham. Why was this disallowed?
Number 6. And Ian Moore letting one go! Oh, dear, 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 what a bad goal against Bobby Ferguson.
And Norwich against Queen's Park Rangers.
Here's one for Parks.
And of course, Jimmy Hill is here with his analysis. And as I say, it's another Golden Goals Sunday. And today the big question is, who gets into the final 6 to win, eventually, this handsome trophy? And we go a step further with our search for an Arsenal song at Wembley for the final. But first is action from Gillingham against Fulham, close to those famous dockyards in Kent, bright sunshine and a breeze coming off the River Medway. And the first visit of the big match, in fact, to Priestfield Stadium in Gillingham. And as you'll see now, it's a neat and a very tidy third division ground, and with a good-looking crowd attracted now to it by this important third division game. And of course it's important for widely different reasons. First of all, for this Gillingham side, rooted to the bottom of the table and needing to do something quite spectacular over the last month to escape. A side still in the development stage, but with a goalkeeper with a record second to none, John Simpson, who joined the club 14 years ago and last week made his 600th appearance for them. As for Fulham, at the start of this game they lie second in the table, and obviously a big final push would see them back in the second division. But now they're without midfield man Stan Brown and striker Steve Earle. And they have, of course, like Gillingham, a good goalkeeper. His name is Malcolm Webster, who had some first division experience with the Arsenal. Now the crowd waits for referee Ray Johnston of Lowestoft to signal the start.
Very important game. Get us away. Defending the goal to our right. They are wearing the white shirts with the black shorts. Gillingham in blue. And a goal kick straight away to Gillingham. And this remarkable man, John Simpson, who joined the club in 1957. That's 14 years he's had here. 600 appearances last week, and he cost them a princely £750. Hallam that might turn it off for Conway, and Peach recovering very quickly there for Gillingham. Now Jimmy McVeigh. Again, Green getting up, this time finding Dick Tideman. Yeo and McVeigh just a little bit fortunate there to win that tussle with Barrett, but he won it and found Green. Done. Mathewson, and now Tideman again. Finding a bit of space for himself in the right sort of angle and finding a tricky little Scottish winger, Watson. Darrell doing a dummy on Dunn, but Dunn recovering and then doing a dummy himself on the number 11, Watson. So Fulham getting themselves out of what could have been a ticklish position very well indeed, as Lloyd finds Horn. Horn sweeping it to the far side now, and here's Conway. Trying to get Peach to go one way and then the other, and then a little chip that looks for Hallam, but Williams, the skipper, is there. Conway to fire it in, and my goodness, if it didn't hit the post, then it hit just behind that post. Very close indeed for Fulham, and Simpson must have just got a hand to it from Conway, because it's a corner for Fulham with 6 minutes gone. Behind Simpson's goal, that's how it looks, and here's the corner from Conway, and Hallam's going in there with his head just over. Big Hallam in this side, because Steve Earle has got a little bit of a groin injury. The players waiting for this goal kick from Simpson. Mathewson that time beating Green in the air. Horn to Conway. And McVeigh getting in there to nod it forward again for Gillingham. Dunn, Horn, Lloyd. Delaying that pass just a little, allowing Mick Green to get in, but there was certainly no delaying tactics about Callaghan, the number 3, going in very quickly on that one to give Gillingham their throw. It's going to be Dick Tideman with it. Yeo. Losing it to Lloyd. And Fulham's throw. Johnston. Now to Lloyd. Williams with his head. And now Peach. Callaghan. Johnston. Lloyd. Showing a lot of good control, Lloyd, in the middle of the field now for Fulham. But not quite enough speed to get away from Kent, who is going to be booked. And Kent is going to be booked by referee Johnston for that foul on Barry Lloyd. And really, I don't think he can have too many complaints about that. Certainly wasn't the first time that Kent, the number 7, had offended this afternoon, and that was quite enough for Mr. Johnson. Fellow who's only been on loan, Kent, from Wolves since March the 15th, and in fact was doubtful for this game until just before the kick-off with an ankle injury. Well, Lloyd is going to be all right again. So it's Fulham's free kick, and here's Lloyd now. And it might again fall for him, though. Peach is there first, finding Green, Horn, and now Dunn. Callaghan. And Gillingham's throw. Finding that nobody's coming for him, not making the taking of this throw very easy. Horn, in fact, gets a head on now for Hallam, and Quirk in a little bit of trouble, but then getting himself out of it to put it into touch again for another throw to Fulham. Well, that really gave Johnston no chance, but he made as much of it as he possibly could as Horn puts it across now for Lloyd, taking it on his body, and finally once more Williams to get it away for Gillingham. Matthewson, Conway, and now Pentecost. Matthewson again, the number 5 right up there, and doing his share of attacking. And now he might have to do his share of attacking as Kent takes it up for Gillingham. Yes, a foul against Pentecost and a free kick to Gillingham. Green nodding that on nicely, and Yeo coming in hard for Gillingham across that goal, and Matthewson. But it's only gone as far as Yeo, and he's turned it back again nicely. Watson nodding it down. Green, can he get a foot to it? Tideman completely missing his kick. And Barrett, but it's headed on again by Kent. And Webster taking no chances whatsoever with his fist. Well, a real little flurry of action there. And Webster, who really could take no chances at all with that ball floating on the breeze, and 3 Gillingham forwards there, using his fist to very good advantage. Darrell. Yeo falling into the ground there, but he didn't fall into the penalty area rather, but he didn't fool referee Johnson. And it's Conway now for Fulham. Quirk to turn it away, and in any case Hallam was offside. So it'll be Dave Peach with a free kick for Gillingham. Green again winning it in the air. Darrell doing might and main to try and get past Pentecost, but Pentecost choosing exactly the right moment to go in, but the ball must have gone off Conway's foot because it's Gillingham's throw again. Horn, Johnston nodding it down for Kent. Quirk to Peach. And Green is all right. Now can he lift this over Malcolm Webster? Green, and it's a goal! Fulham waited and thought that he was offside, but no whistle, no flag were forthcoming. And he flicked that nicely past Malcolm Webster, and Mick Green had the simplest of tasks to put in his 12th goal of the season. So there's a shock then for Fulham. Gillingham a goal up, scored by Green, and 5 minutes to go to half-time. Barrett. And a free kick now to Fulham. Desperate for at least a point in this game. They obviously want a good April now to make a last final and profitable push towards the second division. And dropping 2 points here wouldn't be a good way of helping that push along. But there's Callaghan with a little chip, and Gillingham slow to react to it. Lloyd going in quickly, Watson there as well, and McVeigh finally to get it away. Horn trying to turn it wide for Hallam. And offside given once more against Hallam. Not happy with the decision, but he'll have to accept it. Dunn and Conway, Horn, Tideman. Lloyd was in quickly, but it still fell for Kent. Kent now to Watson. Oh, good play there by Watson. Some beautiful skills there by the little winger. And although we keep talking in terms of Fulham wanting a tremendous last months to this season, that it's equally true of Gillingham, rooted at the bottom of the table. They really have got to do something extraordinary to get away. And again offside against Hallam. Not happy with it, pleading his innocence. McVeigh and Kent, stopped by Horn. Barrett played too firmly, and there goes the whistle for half-time, with Gillingham into the lead, put there by number 9, Mike Green. The only goal of the first half, but number 7, Mickey Kent, had his name taken on one dazzling run from him as well. So a lot for Fulham to do in the second half, and a lot to come still on the big match this afternoon. Highlights of Norwich against Queen's Park Rangers, Nottingham Forest against West Ham, and remember the final 6 of our Golden Goals competition. But the half-time score here at Priestfield Stadium, Gillingham 1, Fulham 0. We'll be back with you in a couple of minutes. We got some cake up here.
Again tomorrow with far more London ITV.
So Gillingham get us away at the start of the second half, firmly tied to the bottom of the third division, although their record over the last couple of months is not all that bad. In fact, of their last 12 games, they've lost only 3. They really haven't won enough, I suppose. That's the point. They've dropped too many points at home. But now they're this goal up, scored by Mike Green. And here's Dave Peach with a throw for them. No, in fact, leaving it instead for Kent. Hallam to Conway. And Pentecost turning it high again towards that Gillingham goal. Barrett getting up well, and once more Williams. But now Barrett again. McVeigh trying to cover him. Good play there by Barrett, and turned in beautifully by Johnston. Within a minute of the start of the second half, Johnston has scored the equaliser for Fulham. After very good work indeed by Barrett, to the delight of the Fulham supporters who've come down. So a very well taken goal there by Johnston, making it 1-1. His 8th goal for Fulham. Well, that'll liven it up a good deal. And now Lloyd. McVeigh. And Kent, a long one to look for Watson on the other side. Oh, a bit of pushing and shoving going on there between Watson and Callaghan. And a kick given to Fulham, Fred Callaghan. Oh, and now Hallam taking advantage of that slip by Williams. Now Johnson with a great chance, and he's a very much easier chance than he had a moment ago. Really the first slip in the game that we've seen from Big Bill Williams. But it very nearly was a costly one. Free kick to Fulham. Jimmy Dunn with it. Lloyd pushed in the back by Brian Yeo, and a free kick to Fulham. Lloyd to take it. No, he's going to leave it instead to Pentecost. Hallam trying to judge it, but it's Williams instead. It comes through for Lloyd, and Darrell to turn it away, but only as far as the full-back Pentecost, whose drive was blocked in any case by Peach. Fulham's throw. Shadow of our stand. And the cameraman, and the commentator. And Johnston leaving it now for Conway. And Conway stopped by Quirk. And another corner for Fulham. Well, a very bright and breezy start to the second half by Fulham. Still only 4 minutes of the second half gone. There's Conway's corner. And there's Barrett! Yes! Well, that really has made a tremendous turnabout then for Fulham, going in this goal down, and now within 4 minutes of the second half, they've put themselves a goal ahead. A policeman on the field, chasing a fan. Now, who's going to win this race? There's the fan, a steward going hard after him, a policeman also. And now he's made it difficult for himself. He's gone into the crowd. Well, we've really got excitement all the way around as Gillingham get us away again now. Now Hallam. Barrett, a long one forward. Johnston is there to chase it. But Quirk, what a vital 4 minutes for Fulham if they can hold on and take 2 points from this game. Johnston again, this time back for Barrett. Pushed away by Tideman. Well, that's the end of that chase. And now we get back to the football. Callaghan to drive one in, and a deflection in fact off McVeigh. And over for the corner. Conway with the corner then. And Hallam going in there, but slightly misjudging it, clipping off the top of his head. Lloyd now turning it for Barrett, a new-looking Fulham in this second half. McVeigh turning it into touch, but still the throw for Fulham. Most of the fans are behind that goal. They're attacking now, and they've given them plenty to cheer. Here's Johnston now. A nice little cross there, and Conway very nearly making it 3. Darrell instead taking far too long. Horn driving it wildly over the stand and out of the ground. Behind that stand at the Raynham end. And so it's a goal kick. A great Fulham banner there being waved behind the goal. Delight in the Fulham crowd. Mathewson with the kick. Quirk getting in very well, but so too was Horn. Conway keeping it in and finding Pentecost. Johnston trying to turn that through, but did Williams handle it? Fulham said no, but the referee said no rather, although Fulham argued that he had. Barrett once more. Watson to Tiedemann. To look for Green. And away goes Darrell. Shaking off one challenge, but not that of Horn. And Horn to turn it into touch for another throw to Gillingham. Callaghan waiting to take the throw for Fulham. Callaghan with the throw. Barrett. Hallam getting a push in the back from Williams, but keeping control, finding Johnston. Johnston to Barrett. Lloyd. Now Watson. Kent for Gillingham. Good looking ball there, but Green couldn't quite lay it off for Hugh. And so it'll be Webster now. Peach. Green to flick it on, and Hugh going in for it, but that should be Webster's. Conway. Much breezier and brisker look about to Fulham now, wanting Hallam to go inside the fullback for him, but Conway keeping possession. Johnston now, and Lloyd, but straight in the arms this time of Simpson, but a nicely set up move there again by Fulham. Mathewson off the top of his head, Green going in hard on it, and Yeo is there as too, but Mathewson back to Webster. Some real pushing there, and Hallam and Williams getting stuck into each other, and the referee saying that Bill Williams is the guilty one, the one who started it all. So Pentecost with the kick. Good kicker of a dead ball, Pentecost, and Williams and Hallam trying to get on that one, but the ball at the last moment hanging on the breeze. Barrett. Good looking cross again by Barrett, and it'll come for Conway to drive it. Oh, it's there by Conway! An angle where he really shouldn't have had too much chance. Whether Simpson here got a hand to it or not is hard to say, but just inside that far post to put Fulham 3-1 into the lead, having scored all 3 of their goals now in the first 10 minutes of the second half. So now that leaves Gillingham so much to do, after looking so promising for a long time in the first half and going that goal ahead. Hallam to Conway. And Hallam has gone down. Something happened off the ball there between Hallam and Williams. And there's the ball across again. Now Lloyd, can he make it 4? No, he can't. And if Hallam had been on his feet, that would have gone for him. Suddenly he was bundled to the ground there. Barrett. Oh, good ball there to find Conway. Played beautifully. And Conway now with pace to take on Peach. Tremendous run down the right there. But Peach getting in at precisely the right moment to turn that one away for a throw. Conway's throw, score of one of these Fulham goals. Pentecost ducking in low to get it back to him. Pentecost again. And a corner. So Fulham's corner. George Johnson again standing on that goal line, straight in front of Simpson, the goalkeeper. Dunn has come forward. Pentecost is right up there as well as he tries a low one, and it'll come through to Pentecost. Mike Pentecost. Oh, it's opened up for him. And at the very last minute it was closed. Callaghan. And Lloyd getting up well. And getting in again well, Lloyd. And a flick on for Johnston, perhaps a little too hard, and Peach should fill in for Gillingham, and then miss kicks and gives the corner. Dave Peach. Position at the near post now as Conway takes another corner, and Simpson grabbing that one nicely above his head. Green. And Pentecost. Oh, and Pentecost brought down by Peach when the ball was going loose for him. And Williams also in need of a bit of attention. It didn't quite go through for Lloyd, but it will go through for Barrett. Taking on McVeigh again. Good little piece of work there, and a corner coming off Williams. And it's Les Barrett with the corner. Swung in again there, coming almost through to Conway, but nodded away though by Williams. Barrett again. And this time off Watson. That's the second ball that's gone out of the ground in this game. Now Johnson, oh, tricking his man very nicely, flicked it back for Hallam, and now for Conway. Will he put it in? No! Belted away by Peach. Green to Watson, and a foul against Lloyd, and Fulham want to bring on their substitute, John Richardson. Well, he's coming on, and George Johnston is going off, the number 8. Lloyd, in fact, has just nipped off the pitch down into the tunnel, so Fulham for the moment down to 10 men. Barrett to take it away. Richardson chasing it with Quirk also. Turned back for Vic Hallam. Not too many players in the middle for Hallam, should he get it across. Good looking cross there, but again too far for Conway rather. McVeigh. A match that now puts Gillingham in such terrible trouble at the bottom of the third and gives Fulham every hope now of going up into the second division, and a victory really that shows a tremendous amount of character in this Fulham side, going that goal down just before half-time and really smashing back with 3 goals in the first 10 minutes of the second half. A grip really that's never been loosened since. Gillingham's throw, well into injury time at the end of the game now. And Fulham having already beaten Rochdale away back on Wednesday. I suppose you could call that the first game of their Easter programme, so it would be maximum points from 2 games so far, with that 1 game to come still at Plymouth on Monday. But before that corner can be taken, it's all over, and 2 very valuable points indeed for Fulham. There's the man who put Gillingham ahead before half-time, Mike Green. And then, of course, it was Les Barrett who got the second of the goals for Fulham, Johnson, who's already gone off, and Jimmy Conway, the number 7 for Fulham, who scored the third. There he is. It's he who scored the third goal. So the crowd's pouring on now, in spite of appeals for them to keep off. Most of them delighted Fulham fans. And the final score here at Gillingham then, Gillingham 1, Fulham 3.
So after that, it looks very much as though Fulham are on the way up, and Gillingham, the first club that I ever supported, alas, are on the way down to the 4th division. Still to come on the big match today, of course, our final 6 in the Golden Goals competition. Also highlights from Nottingham Forest against West Ham and Norwich against Queen's Park Rangers. But now let's go back to that match we had yesterday in the 3rd division and some comments from Jimmy Hill.
Well, in fact, it was a sad day for Gillingham because they fought very bravely in the first half, and the manager must have been quite proud of them. But I had the feeling, although Fulham were attacking with the wind, Big Bill Williams was holding them out, and I thought this is one of those games where Gillingham are going to break away and score, and they did exactly that. They caught Fulham napping through the middle of the field and produced this goal from Mike Green. A sudden ball, a layback, and that perfect through ball, and there goes Mike Green, and you can see here Malcolm Webster coming out. He doesn't spread himself. He tries a fly kick and a jump and a dive and anything that you can. But from that moment on, it was an unhappy time for Fulham, and Gillingham thought that a miracle had happened. There's the joy on Mike Green's face. But you talk about half-time talks, and managers are often credited with saying wonderful things at half-time. The one that Bill Dodging gave yesterday must have been the half-time talk to end all half-time talks, because they came out with a devastating burst, and it was interesting the way in which they used their wings to create these 3 goals. Notice the way the ball is played out. It's won there by Les Barrett, a winger coming off his line. He jumps very well there. But notice how, in the end, when they get the ball back, they use the width of the pitch. He spreads out wide, takes on his man, and it's a near-post cross, and you'll see George Johnston flying in there, leans backwards and side-foots it along the floor into the net. That was their first goal just a moment after half-time, and there were 2 more to come in the next 8 minutes. This one from a corner, looks a bit of a push there from Vic Hallam, but there's Barrett coming in off his line again, a right-foot shot, and making no mistake about that. Fulham are a club that really have 2 first-class wingers, and they know how to use them. Those of you who like to watch football, old-fashioned style football, played wide, this is the club to go and look at. Now here's the 3rd one coming up, and once again it's a quick ball to the wing, right out to the touchline, spreading the Gillingham defence wide, which they failed to do in the first half, and using the whole width of the field. There's the cross, there's the challenge in the middle. And watch now John Simpson, who shows all the arts of goalkeeping. There's Conway on the ball now. He angles in beautifully, is in a perfect position, but from there on wasn't quite quick enough to raise his hands and stop that shot. There was a lot of power in it from Conway. Exciting time for Fulham. They're 3-1 up, and they're on the way to promotion. I don't claim to be their number 1 fan. There's another gentleman with a long chin, I think, who complains to be the number 1, but I reckon to be in the top 10. I firmly predict now that Fulham will go up. They're favourites. They're in a wonderful position. Good luck to them. I hope to see it happen very soon.
Fulham, in fact, at this very moment on their way, a long coach journey down to Plymouth for the last of their Easter games. And now we come to that Arsenal song for Wembley. And last week we asked you, of course, to put the words to the tune of Land of Hope and Glory. And I'm happy to say we had a tremendous response, for which we thank you very sincerely. But our idea sparked off an incredible chain reaction. The first thing that happened was that we were told that for copyright reasons, we were unable to use Land of Hope and Glory. And then every day, it seemed, produced more song ideas, either from national newspapers, professional songwriters like Johnny Johnson and John Hawksworth, showbiz personalities like Pete Murray, and so on. So the big match idea that we hoped would unite you Arsenal fans to sing one song now seems in danger of causing total confusion. So, Land of Hope and Glory is out, and we are now combining forces with the Daily Express, who handle the community singing at Wembley, and the Arsenal players, and together we've now come up with Rule Britannia as the right theme. And we called in on a rehearsal for Roger Whittaker's show that you may have seen last night, and asked him, the Pieces of Eight, and J. Vincent Edwards as well, and a few other sports lads from around the studio, to give it a go. This is what they came up with. Well, at least that might now give you some idea. What we like about it is its simplicity. Good old Arsenal, good old Bertie, Frankie, Charlie, Georgie, whoever scores a goal, now you can sing to them. And certainly over the next few weeks, we hope somehow to arrange a couple of rehearsals at Highbury for you North Bank lads and the rest of you, so that you're in really good, united voice before you go to Wembley on May the 8th. I hope that clears up the confusion, and certainly we didn't want to feel that all your songwriting efforts of the last few days have gone to waste. So we've now picked out 3 winners, for which we will pay a prize of £10 to each of them. The first one, Mrs. L. Moffat of 1 Ashfield Grove, Bletchley in Buckinghamshire. She's won. Mr. and Mrs. A. Harbour of 28 Roberts Ride, Hazelmere in Buckinghamshire. And one here, what about that? A young lad who's written not one song, but it seems a book of songs, with the Arsenal Rosette and all, and the Gunners, and that's Barry Beaumont of 32 Walmer Road, Edmonton, North 18 in London. So they will each be getting a prize of £10. But now it's time for some more action, and it comes from Norwich, where Queen's Park Rangers were the visitors yesterday. They've been showing some improved form, in fact. The commentator there is Gerry Harrison. The pictures come from Anglia Television. Rangers, of course, in their familiar hoop shirts.
Stringer just on the edge of the goal area. Peter Sylvester at the back. Up goes Sylvester, well held by Parks, but a free kick, says Mr. Kirkhoff. Phil Parks, still very young and comparatively inexperienced, but playing well in the second division. Former Walsall player. Leach isolated. Now Saul with Ferguson on his left. Saul going for the return, but Anderson stays with him. Ferguson gets the rebound. Looking for Marsh. Bounces badly for Leach. And here's Clement, the fullback, pushing up, who likes a long shot now and again. Off Leach. Here's Padden. Past Venables. Good bit of play with on his left Sylvester. For Butler. Ken Foggo. Just a bit too strong on that header, but Butler's there to pick it up. Pass one, but not the second. Norwich City's throw. Livermore to Forbes. Ken Foggo here. Ferguson against Payne. Sylvester. Ken Foggo moving in. Significant that the first bit of real action and the first goal comes from Ken Foggo. Nicely set up. Again, the wind picks it up, and here's Stringer. Doug Livermore, almost into trouble, finds Anderson, robbed by Hazel. Here's Butler. Darling just keeping it in, giving it to Leach almost though. Now Padden helping him out. Now Norwich City showing more life. Here's Livermore, looking for Darling, who almost trips. Darling gets past Evans almost. And Darling, who tripped as he made that run in, and surely would have got that ball had he not done so, almost gets past the young centre-half. But it's another corner number 2 to Norwich. Again, Duncan Forbes up. Again, David Stringer on the edge of the goal area, with Peter Sylvester just behind the penalty spot. Up goes David Stringer. Sylvester. Sylvester again. It's there. But Stringer the scorer. So did David Stringer in the middle of those three there, did he get a touch as it was going over? But anyhow, it would have gone over the line, and Peter Sylvester, the man who forced it in. Venables directing operations. Marsh on the penalty spot. Forbes coming across it. Venables again. Off Sylvester. Well, a bit of control, but not a good pass, and Anderson a good one to Darling, with Gillard closing up. Doug Livermore pushing one down to Anderson here. Anderson a good bit of control, loses Evans. Here's Foggo. Now Darling. Darling again. Sylvester. And Venables takes it away. Well, they should have had another one there. It should have been 3-0, but still a bit of pressure on this Queen's Park Rangers defence, and Venables significantly enough in the middle there to calm things down a little bit. Well, no time to recover from bad ones.
Still more trouble for Rangers coming up in the second half.
Foul there, Doug Livermore, and a little bit of naughty reaction. Ooh, that was unfriendly. But all a bit of a show, I hope. So Padden wants the minute wall in front of him pushed back a bit. Mr. Kirkhoff not too bothered. Sylvester. Oh, what a good header! It finally gets among him. Sylvester coming forward. Darling taking the space, and in it goes.
So, a heavy defeat for the Rangers. The Rangers manager, Gordon Jago, I noticed, was quoted this morning as saying that was so typical of Rangers this season. Sometimes they've played really well, and sometimes so badly. I think we must all agree that that probably falls into the second category. But now, it's time for Golden Goals of 1971. Well, last week we showed you our short list of 12. This week we bring you the final 6, chosen by our panel of Jimmy Hill, Bernard Joy of the Evening Standard, Victor Railton of the Evening News, and special guest Gordon Banks. We'll show you now that final 6, and then after it we'll tell you how you can vote. Goal A was scored by John Hollins, and that came for Chelsea against Arsenal at Stamford Bridge.
And now Harris. Hollins has gone off on another break, and Nelson's gone with him. Hollins! Good work by Hollins! Oh, against the post! Can he do it? He can! John Hollins! Oh, what a beautiful goal!
Hollins for persistence. Goal B by Rodney Marsh of Queen's Park Rangers. The panel had trouble deciding which of his 2 qualifiers should go in. They decided on this one.
And Ferguson is right there in the middle of it. Will it come through to Marsh? Oh, look at that for skill by Marsh! Oh, and what a goal! Rodney Marsh's hat-trick!
Marsh for magic. Goal C, scored by Alan Gowling of Manchester United, and this one came against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge.
United for the moment under siege with everybody in their half, bar Bonetti. Webb with the kick. Smethurst looking for it, and my goodness, Stepney came out a long way to punch that one away. And away goes Gowling now. Harris is chasing him. He's done very well already, and he's still going on. Will he get a shot in? Oh, my goodness! And it's a goal, was it? Yes, it's a goal! A goal is given by the linesman, and that really was a goal in a million by Alan Gowling.
Gowling for grit. Goal D, Martin Chivers of Spurs. The goal he scored in the League Cup final against Aston Villa at Wembley.
And John Dunn for the Villa. Hamilton to McMahon. Now they are stopping and looking, and Spurs are attacking much quicker as Chivers now. Good control by Chivers. And he's done it again! Martin Chivers! Oh, what a goal by Chivers!
Chivers for courage. Two more to come. Goal E, Jimmy Robertson for Ipswich against West Ham United at Upton Park.
For Morris. Ipswich, if anything, now beginning to get the upper hand. There's a good-looking ball there from Morris to Robertson. He can take on McDowell. And a goal! What a great goal by Robertson! That really did put West Ham back on their heels.
Robertson's rocket. And goal F, scored only last week by Ray Kennedy for the Arsenal, and this one came against Chelsea.
Hudson and McClintock. Charlie George again bursting in on the scene there, and McCready going with him, but he still found Radford, and now George Graham. Armstrong coming in on it. Beautifully played there by Armstrong. Oh, and a dummy there, let's Kennedy in! Oh, a fine goal by Kennedy!
And we call that one Kennedy's Killer. That's the final six then, and now what we want you to do is to put those 6 goals in the right order of merit. Which is best, which is second best, third best, and so on. And we're running this competition in conjunction with the Evening Standard and the Evening News. And all this week, starting tomorrow, both those evening papers will carry a voting coupon. So if you live in the London area, that's the only way that you can vote in this year's competition. If you live outside that circulation area, say in Northern Ireland, in the Harlech or Westward television areas, for example, we'll take your vote only then on a postcard. So just to remind you again of the final 6, here it is. Goal A, John Hollins of Chelsea. Goal B, Rodney Marsh of Queen's Park Rangers. Goal C, Alan Gowling of Manchester United. Goal D, Martin Chivers of Spurs. Goal E, Jimmy Robertson of Ipswich. And goal F, Ray Kennedy of the Arsenal. And remember, if you live in the London area, then you must vote by the forms that you'll see in the Standard and the News from tomorrow onwards. Outside the London area, postcards only to this address. Golden Goals, the big match, London Weekend Television, Wembley in Middlesex, and please only on a postcard, and only on a postcard if you live outside the London area. So now it really is up to you to decide who wins the Golden Goals competition of 1971, and with it, this handsome trophy here. The first winner from the viewers out of the hat gets a chance to meet all the Golden Goals stars at a special party and appear, of course, on this programme as well. But now we come to our last action today from yesterday, and it's Nottingham Forest against West Ham United, 2 clubs who really seem to have pulled themselves out of trouble at the foot of the First Division. The commentator is Hugh Johns, the pictures come from ATV, and West Ham are in the lighter shirts.
Hurst steaming away in there. Trying to lay it back for Redknapp. Well read by Winfield. Dougie Fraser wanting to give it back, can't. Greaves has moved in. Taylor leaving it go for a throw-in, and also to allow, I think, probably a little bit of treatment for McDowell. No, Jim Finney figures that McDowell's all right. Nope, now he has decided to send for Rob Jenkins. John McDowell. Pretty hard bang in the head he got. The injury a little more serious than we thought. In fact, McDowell off the field now with the game going on. Ooh, that was foot up against Pop Robson, getting dangerously close to number 10, Peter Cormack's head. Indirect free kick. Dangerous play. Dougie Fraser, number 6. And Ian Moore letting one go! Oh, dear, 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 what a bad goal against Bobby Ferguson, but a very happy fellow, no. It's not been given. It was, in fact, an indirect free kick. The biggish fella's up in the box now. Sammy Chapman's up there. Hindley's up there. Good punch then by Ferguson. One-handed, but he went all the way on it. Forest ball as Richardson reties his boot. Chapman just got a touch now. Cormac. Chapman challenging with more. Loose ball for Martin. Neil Martin on the turn, the scorer of 1 goal so far since he came to Forest. Chapman, Jackson now handling. Chapman. That's falling for Richardson. Taylor away. Chapman has hardly missed a ball in the air in his challenges with Jeff Hurst. Half time now, pretty close. Ian Moore. And West Ham muddle themselves out of trouble. Chapman, the through ball for Martin. A good ball here for Moore. Yes, it must be. That'll do. Ian Moore. Oh, he really capitalised on that move. The coolest man in that front line. Just the fella for that chance to go to.
So, defeat for West Ham, and the reason that first Forest goal was disallowed, as Hugh Johns quickly pointed out, was of course because the referee had given an indirect free kick and the Forest player had hammered it directly into the West Ham net without it touching another player. Well, that's all today. Hope you've enjoyed it. See you in On the Ball next Saturday lunchtime, and of course the big match again next Sunday afternoon. We leave you as ever with a goal by George Johnston that surely has helped to put Fulham on the way to the second division for next season.
Well, and once more Williams, but now Barrett again. McVeigh trying to cover him. Good play there by Barrett, and turned in beautifully by Johnston within a minute of the start of the